hello, all my magical people out there. Welcome to my show Unscripted with Amy Kruzic. Okay, so this is where I have a guest on, and I ask them one question. And it's kind of like being on the spot, but it's kind of fun, and I guarantee you we're going to have fun and plenty of giggles today. So before I bring my guest on, the last show I did with David Ellis, we talked about imaginary people in our childhood or, even still today. So I just wanted to show you guys my Holly hobby. Okay, look at her. All right, no hair. I don't know what I did with it. But then I'm like, what is this? Chocolate, blood? I have no idea. And then I see this little tape around her ankle. I'm like, what the heck? So I just wanted to bring her back to life, and she's just going to sit here with me and enjoy the show. So let's bring on Andrew Bartzis. Yay! Hi,
Hello,
Andrew.
everybody. How you doing?
How are you doing today?
Good. What's going on with you, Amy?
Oh, so many good things. So many good things happening. So what I have here, I got to give you a little history about this question box I have.
Okay.
I bought this little box a while ago. It was so funny, and I have it on my kitchen table. And whenever I have people over, we just pick a question and ask. So this is kind of cool that now it's a show, So yeah. I'm going to pick a random question. I thought, let me pick a random question where both of us don't know what it is. And that puts me on the spot, if we want to call it on the spot, and you. So I made up questions here.
We're cruising with Kruzic.
Yeah, we're cruising. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so let me just pick it out, and here we go. I'm gonna pick one. This is so exciting. I don't know why my heart's beating right now. Okay. Oh, okay. Andrew, what are you most passionate about?
Passionate about comes like movie choices. So there are moods to passion. If I had to make a single choice, my passion for the spirit of business and how this business of spirit flows through me is my most passionate thing.
How does that?
And in that passion of spirit is how to bring spirit as a business to the world and how the world can consume it and get the value of the spirit, which is an unlimited perception and point of view. And how do you market and sell the unlimited perception and point of view to people in a limited world?
Ooh.
So that passion, uncovering that little conundrum wrapped in an enigma of everybody's individual choices, that's my passion. That's my passion right there.
And can I ask, when do you feel that this passion started?
On my very first radio show I did, October 31st, 2012, there was the beginning of that passion. That was my very first radio show, and 5 days later I was on a simulcasted network with a 4-day-a-week call-in show, and still ended up doing 7 other live shows a week. There is where it truly began. But the passion, the business, began hands-on healing Reiki, cranial sacral therapy, and myofascial release early on in 2003, 2004. I was cranial sacral therapy, myofascial release 2005. Sorry. Right at the very beginning of Upledger's training worldwide. Their worldwide training, and you were doing weekend classes for that, not 6 and 10 week like you were doing then, and being certified in it. And myofascial release. So the passion for healing and the business that it took. I worked at a volunteer Reiki clinic that also taught cranial sacral therapy. That was at an Ursuline nuns college that had opened up to having men and women to come to the school. And the Ursuline nuns were very ahead of their time. Let's just call it that.
Mm.
And they started having amazing healings on the tables with Reiki, craniosacral therapy, to the point many of the retired nuns from across the United States would come to the Ursuline College in Beechwood, Ohio, for that specific type of healing energies. And we would have 70-year-old nuns with powerful faith going through faith healings through Reiki. And then the Pope tried to shut them down. And the entire Ursuline nun organization across the world revolted against that.
Wow.
And when I saw that, it instilled a whole different level of passion for me. That you weren't going to shut this down. You weren't going to shut this down. Because once the volunteer clinic was gone, what do I do?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I was doing 20, 30 people a week at a volunteer clinic. And as soon as I got out of the volunteer clinic and opened my own clinic, it was 40 people a week, 30 people a week. So the passion was there. And if it wasn't for those nuns standing up to the Pope, I wouldn't have been in my own clinic. I wouldn't have had to force myself to think, what do I do this? How do I do this? I was a construction idiot. Okay. I knew limo driving. I didn't know the business of healing.
Wow. Wow. That's awesome. I really love how that just kind of, those nuns, that felt like a force field around you. Where
absolutely.
they built this force field around you and lifted your spirits in a way.
I remember sitting in the chapel at the nuns' private area after I had done a day of healing. And I'm trying to say this. And I just heard the thank yous. Just heard the thank you. Thank you from spirit. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And it just brought me to tears. And that was the moment I said, I will do this as my passion for the rest of my life.
Wow. A dedication.
Yeah.
Wow. I have.
That's what drives me to today, to do this, in whatever form it is, hands-on, verbal, psychic surgery. I've taken the time to master all that.
Ooh. That is so beautiful. And I know that everyone's experience is so unique with their passion. What advice would you give those out there that maybe sometimes have lost their passion, or how do they know if they're doing taking the right path, so to speak, the right path? Is there anything?
First, healing, being a healer is not for everyone.
Yeah.
It is not for those that have any form of unhealed ego traumas. It is not for anyone who has serious character flaws about having to be right or narcissism. You will lead yourself down the primrose path of self-destruction. But the healing path can absolutely help heal those people, even the hardest core of narcissists, because it forces you to do the inner work, client to client to client. And unfortunately, in today's unempowered world of fake self-help artists, they give these techniques without the basic backgrounds. And people jump into the advanced skills and think they know what they're doing when they don't know their ass from a hole in the ground. So finding your passion is understanding where you're at in your personal growth. And that being a healed healer means you have taken the time to heal inside you so you can heal others. And as a healer, you will experience trauma from others. It's inevitable. And therefore, it is a continuous healing path. They all dovetail into each other.
And most people kind of give up when they do have to deal with that trauma. It's like
what have to deal with their individual trauma.
Yeah, because most people don't want to do that, and most people can't even see it.
Right.
So you need to.
I recall one of my first times I was working on an Ursuline nun. I think her name was Jennifer or something. That was some weird French name. And she had just gotten a pacemaker. And back then, pacemakers technology was very different.
Yeah.
And she didn't tell me she had a pacemaker. And as soon as I put my hand over her heart, I felt shock going through my hands. And she goes, "You feel my pacemaker?" I'm like, "Yeah, I do."
Wow.
Okay, and at that moment, she was telepathically speaking to me. She wasn't talking. Her lips were not moving. And at that moment, I could have shocked and go, "Oh no,"
Yeah.
or accepted what was there and did the healing without blinking at the mystical moment.
Yes, so true. We have all
Okay,
these mystical moments.
in little tiny ones, just like her lips weren't moving. And we talked about it afterwards. She had already fallen asleep on the table. Okay, she was already out. She wasn't talking at all. Yet she was talking to me, and her body was talking to me and saying what it needed.
Oh, gosh, that is amazing.
Accepting that was vital, absolutely vital, at creating the space that need to be held for her so a faith-based system can come into her. Yes, it's a Japanese faith system, but it's still a universal source energy.
Mhm. So true.
And
So
what
true.
did the body want from her? Help accept the pacemaker. Don't reject it.
Yeah.
That was it. Okay?
Simple as that.
Simple as that. And afterwards, she had this crying moment, and one of the other people came up to me and she says, I can live now.
Whoa.
I can live now. Faith had returned to her, that the machine, the godless machine, wasn't keeping her alive,
Mhm.
that it was of God.
Oh my God, how the body and spirit work together
Yeah.
right in that
It was
moment.
just getting them, it was just getting the machine to talk to the human heart,
Yeah.
get them to agree we need to live, and this is what we need to live.
Oh gosh. Whew. Wow, Andrew, I thank you for all you do, really, and I thank you for coming on my show. And you helped a lot of people today
I
by
want to
just
share. I
being
want to
here.
share one. I want to share one more story.
Sure.
This story is about a woman named Donna, and she had been coming to the clinic for years before I had begun part of it. And when I became part of it, and I kind of became a superstar, she wanted to go and experience what my version of Reiki was. Now, this woman was butchered, and I mean butchered
Mm.
by the doctors. She had cancer that went up the back of her neck, down the back of her spine, through her brain. Beautiful, beautiful woman, but butcher scars all over her. And I remember from the first moment that I there, it was to return her inner beauty.
Mm.
And after a handful of sessions, she came to me and she gave me a gift of some chocolate and then some bread that she made. And she didn't have a lot of money. She had lost all her money on all the surgeries and everything. But I remember putting a spark in her. And then everyone that was in the clinic said, what did you do?
Mm.
I said, I gave her hope.
Mm-hmm.
Just gave her hope. I didn't cure the butchering.
Mm-mm.
There was no cure for that. Gave her hope. Gave a little spark of faith back in her that what she had gone through was not for naught.
Yeah. She
She
could
turned
act.
around and started her telling her story at cancer survivor centers. And now she's
Oh.
got books out internationally.
Wow, it's almost like she can see her inner beauty now through her scars, without
Yeah,
the scars
yeah.
taking over her inner beauty.
She did the trauma work.
Yeah.
I just reflected the beauty back. To me, the scars were beauty of survival,
Yeah.
what it took to survive, which allowed me to later on work with a lot of disfigured Army vets.
Mm.
I was disgusted or had to turn away from what I was looking at. And that was the gift back to me as a healer.
Yeah. We have to remember those gifts that we get back as a healer. Maybe sometimes we just overlook them, but that's so true. Oh, wow. Thank you again, Andrew.
You're welcome. Thank you. It's been nice
And
to be able to share. People don't
yeah,
really ask these types of questions.
Wow. And hey, you know what? Our spirits were working together today, and
That's right.
this needed to be
Right.
heard.
That was the wonderful, the random question no one
That
knows.
right. That is. Oh my gosh. So how can people get a hold of you? And what are you doing
Uh,
lately? What's up?
right now, I am in Southampton, England, about an hour's east of Brighton. We are doing our Combined Healing Tours UK, where we're using the Unified Health Systems system I developed along with David Ellis that uses combined therapies, hyperbaric chambers, flotation takes, cranial sacral therapy, pulse electromagnetic therapy mats, and the Lucia lights in combination with psychic surgery. And we are doing a healing tour here in York. Now, we'll be doing a healing tour in York in the end of September, the beginning of October. You go to my website, andrewbartzis.com. I have a mentorship group that's also starting in the later parts of September.
Yep.
And we have shows every Tuesday and Thursday live at 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time where people can catch up with what we're talking about.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you, everybody. One thing I'd like to do is leave you all with a question and leave your comments below. So there's no right or wrong answers. We're just having fun here. So what does the word commitment mean to you? This has come up for me lately, and I had to answer it myself, and I was surprised at what I thought commitment was as to what I think it is now. So stay magical, everybody. Bye.
Tell me your greatest ambition you have for your life. Thank you.
The reason you're listening to this. Think of the kind of person you really want to be and the way you want to be able to treat people, being genuine and be. Hello, my name is Juliette KARAMAN van Schardenberg, and I'll be taking you through a series of processes in the next 2 audios. You're actually going to do... Hello, my name is Juliette KARAMAN van Schardenberg, and I'll be taking you through a series of processes in the next 2 audios. You're actually going to do one of these techniques.
You may encounter painful or frightening memories, beliefs, and possibilities. But don't be deterred. Be bold. Be courageous.
Do not listen to this recording whilst driving or whilst operating machinery. Only listen when you can safely relax and bring your full awareness to your own complete comfort.